Hey everyone, welcome back to Dr. English Channel. I'm Anna.
And I'm David. Today's episode is one that so many of you have asked for, something that hits really close to home for English learners around the world. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos about the easy ways to learn English from beginner.
Yes, we're talking about people laugh at my English.
Ugh. Just hearing that sentence already hurts a little, doesn't it?
It really does, because for so many people, English isn't just a language. It's a dream, a goal, a way to connect with the world. And when someone laughs at your effort, it can break your confidence completely.
Exactly. I've taught English for over a decade, and I've seen students who were brilliant, smart, funny, expressive, but they stopped speaking because one person made fun of their accent or their grammar.
Yes, it's heartbreaking. And it's something I've felt too, actually.
Really? People laughed at your English?
Oh, absolutely. I studied abroad years ago, and my accent was so strong. I remember once in a group discussion, I mispronounced the word beach, and everyone laughed.
Oh no, the classic pronunciation trap.
Exactly. And even though they weren't being cruel, it really stung. I stopped talking in class for weeks after that.
Yeah, it's not just about the word. It's about feeling small, right?
Yes, you start thinking, maybe my English is bad. Maybe I shouldn't talk.
And that's dangerous because the only way to get better in English is to use it, even if you make mistakes.
Exactly. Mistakes are part of the process. But when people laugh, it can feel like your mistake defines you.
Let's talk about that fear, the fear of being judged, because that's what this really comes down to, right?
Yes, fear of judgment is one of the biggest barriers for English learners.
Totally. You might know grammar, vocabulary, everything, but the moment you open your mouth, your mind goes blank because you're scared of what others will think.
Exactly. You start hearing your own voice in your head and thinking, do I sound weird?
Yes, I've seen that face, that look of panic. It's like your brain says, nope, let's just stay quiet.
And silence feels safe, but it also keeps you stuck.
I think people forget that everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. Even native speakers make mistakes in their own language.
Yes, people mispronounce words in their native tongue all the time. But when you're learning a foreign language, it feels heavier.
Exactly. Because it's not just a mistake, it feels like a reflection of your intelligence or your worth.
And that's the problem. English has become this global standard, so people think if I speak badly, I look uneducated.
But that's so wrong. You're not less smart just because English isn't your first language.
Exactly. In fact, speaking any other language already makes you smarter than most people who only speak one.
Do you remember your most embarrassing English mistake, Anna?
Oh, so many. But okay, one time I wanted to say I'm full after dinner, but I accidentally said I'm pregnant.
Oh, no!
Yes, and everyone at the table just went silent. Then someone finally said, "Congratulations?" And I wanted to disappear.
That's classic. And it's a perfect example. One small word difference, huge misunderstanding.
Exactly. But here's the funny thing. Now I laugh about it. Back then, it felt like the end of the world.
Yeah, in the moment it feels humiliating, but years later, it's just a story.
And that's the lesson. Every mistake you make today becomes a funny story tomorrow.
That's so true. I've had students who once cried about their pronunciation, and now they teach English to others.
Yes, that's growth. But they could only reach that point because they didn't stop speaking.
So, what do you do when people actually laugh at your English?
Good question. First, breathe. Don't take it personally.
Yeah, easier said than done, right?
Of course. But here's what I remind myself. When people laugh, it says more about them than about you.
Exactly. People who laugh at someone learning another language are showing their insecurity.
Right, because deep down, they know they couldn't do what you're doing, learning a whole new language.
Yes, learning English is brave. It takes courage to open your mouth and try.
So if someone laughs, smile and keep going, or laugh with them. Take control of the moment.
I love that. Laugh with them. Because it shows confidence.
Yes, when you laugh at your own mistakes, you disarm people. Suddenly, it's not embarrassing. It's charming.
Exactly. People remember confidence more than grammar ever will.
So true. Confidence communicates louder than grammar ever will.
Let's dig deeper. Why do people laugh at accents or mistakes in the first place?
Sometimes it's just surprise, hearing something different. Sometimes it's immaturity.
Yeah, or they just don't realize it's rude.
Exactly. I've met people who laughed but later said, "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings."
Right. Humor can be misunderstood across cultures too.
Yes. In some cultures, laughing isn't meant to mock. It's just how they react to awkwardness.
That's a really good point. So sometimes we interpret laughter as judgment when it's not.
Exactly. But even if it is judgment, it's still your choice whether to believe it or not.
Yes, you can't control others, but you can control your reaction.
And the best reaction is keep speaking.
That's the key. Silence gives power to fear.
So, how can people rebuild confidence after being laughed at?
Good question. Step 1. Remind yourself why you started learning English.
Yes, focus on your purpose, not people's opinions.
Exactly. Your reason might be travel, career, or connection. Hold on to that.
Step 2, surround yourself with supportive people.
Yes, find communities or friends who encourage you instead of judging you.
There are so many online groups now, people practicing English together, cheering each other on.
That's true. And step 3, celebrate small wins.
Yes, every time you understand a movie line, order food confidently, or finish a conversation, that's a victory.
Absolutely. Those small wins build real confidence over time.
And you stop needing approval from others because you feel your progress.
Let's talk about accents for a second, because that's often what people laugh at most.
Yes, so many learners hate their accent. They want to sound native.
But here's the truth. Your accent is your story. It shows where you come from. It's not something to be ashamed of.
Exactly. Accents are beautiful. They make the world colorful.
Yes. Imagine if everyone spoke English the same way. Boring, right?
Totally. And honestly, most native speakers love accents. They find them interesting, not funny.
Yeah, the people who mock accents usually don't speak another language themselves.
Exactly. They don't understand how brave it is to speak in a foreign language.
Your accent is proof that you're bilingual, not broken.
Beautifully said, David. So, what if we change the story? Instead of people laugh at my English, let's say people notice my English.
Ooh, I like that. It's all about perspective.
Yes. Instead of feeling ashamed, feel proud. You're using a global language to connect. That's amazing.
Exactly. Every time you speak, you're growing. Every time you're laughed at, you're still improving.
Yes. Let people laugh while you move forward.
Exactly. Success is the best response.
One day, you'll speak so confidently that the same people who laughed will ask, How did you become so good?
Yes, and you'll smile and say, I just kept speaking.
So, David, what would you say to someone listening right now who's afraid to speak English because people laughed at them before?
I'd say this: don't let someone's laughter silence your voice. English isn't a test of perfection, it's a bridge to connection. Every mistake you make brings you closer to fluency. Keep speaking.
Beautiful. And I'd add, be proud of your journey. Your accent, your effort, your courage, they all tell a story that's uniquely yours.
Exactly. You're not bad at English. You're becoming fluent. That's a process.
Yes, every word you speak, even the wrong ones, is proof that you're brave enough to try.
And that's something worth celebrating.
We hope today's conversation reminded you that mistakes don't define you. Effort does.
And no matter what anyone says, your English, your story, and your voice matter.
Thank you for joining us today. We're proud of you, truly.
Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep shining.
Until next time, remember, your English is not something to be laughed at, it's something to be proud of.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dr. English Channel. I'm David, and as always, I'm here with my amazing co-host, Anna.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be back. Today's topic is one that's very close to our hearts. We're going to talk about our families. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos about the easy ways to learn English from beginner.
Yes, this is going to be a really warm and personal episode. Family is such an important part of our lives, and it's something everyone can relate to, no matter where you're from or what language you speak.
Absolutely. And when you're learning English, talking about your family is one of the most common and useful topics. You do it in introductions, at school, at work, or even when you're just meeting someone for the first time.
Exactly. So today, we'll just have a relaxed, friendly chat, like two friends catching up over coffee, and along the way, we'll naturally use everyday English expressions that you can use when talking about your own family.
So, David, let's start with you. Tell me a bit about your family.
Sure. Well, my family isn't too big. There are 5 of us in total. My parents, my older sister, my younger brother, and me, right in the middle.
Ah, you're the middle child.
Yep, the classic middle child. Always trying to keep the peace, you know?
I've heard that. So, what was it like growing up with both an older sister and a younger brother?
It was fun and a little chaotic. My sister, Emily, was the responsible one. She was always studying, always organized. And my younger brother, Ben, was, well, let's just say he was full of energy.
Sounds like a typical younger brother.
Exactly. He'd run around the house, break things, and somehow always get away with it because he was the baby of the family.
Oh, I can imagine. So, what about your parents? What do they do?
My dad's a retired teacher. He taught math for over 30 years. My mom used to work as a nurse, but now she spends most of her time gardening and volunteering. They're both really calm people, the kind who never raise their voices.
That's lovely. It sounds like you've had a peaceful home.
Most of the time, yes, except when Ben decided to play soccer in the living room.
Classic.
What about you, Anna? Tell me about your family.
Well, my family is a bit bigger. I have 3 siblings, 2 brothers, and 1 sister. I'm actually the oldest.
Oh, the oldest. So you had to be the responsible one.
Exactly. I always had to set an example. My parents used to say, your younger siblings look up to you, which basically meant I couldn't make any mistakes.
Pressure much?
Definitely. But it also taught me a lot about responsibility. I used to help my mom with cooking and take care of my little brother after school.
That's really nice. What do your parents do?
My dad's an engineer, and my mom runs a small bakery. She's an amazing baker. Our house always smelled like fresh bread and cake when I was growing up.
Oh, that sounds heavenly. What kind of things did she bake?
Everything cakes, cookies, pies. But her specialty was cinnamon rolls. Whenever I smell cinnamon, I instantly think of home.
That's such a nice memory. I love how certain smells bring back childhood memories.
Speaking of memories, what are some traditions your family had when you were growing up?
One of my favorites was our Sunday breakfast. Every Sunday morning, we'd all sit together and have pancakes. It was like an unspoken rule. No phones, no TV, just pancakes and family time.
I love that. My family had something similar. Every Saturday night, we'd have movie night. My dad would make popcorn, and we'd all pick one movie to watch together, usually something funny or animated.
That's awesome. Did you ever fight about what to watch?
Oh, all the time. My brothers always wanted action movies, and my sister and I wanted romantic comedies. So we usually ended up watching whatever my dad chose.
Smart dad.
Yeah, he was the peacemaker.
You know, those little traditions really shape who we become. Even now, when I visit my parents, we still have Sunday pancakes.
That's so sweet. Do you cook them yourself now?
Sometimes, yes, but they never taste quite like my mom's. I swear she has a secret ingredient.
Probably love.
Families aren't always perfect, though, right?
Oh, definitely not. We've had our share of arguments and misunderstandings.
Same here. When I was a teenager, I went through that phase where I thought I knew everything. I didn't want to listen to my parents at all.
I think every teenager does that.
True. But later, I realized how much my parents had sacrificed for us. My dad used to tutor students after school just to earn extra money for our education.
That's so touching. My parents did something similar. My mom would wake up at 4 a.m. to bake for her shop so that she could be home by the time we went to school.
Wow. That's real dedication.
Yeah, and now that I'm older, I appreciate those things so much more.
Me too. I think part of growing up is realizing that our parents were just doing their best.
Exactly.
So how do you stay close to your family now that you're busy with work?
We have a family group chat. We text every day, sometimes just funny memes or pictures, and every Sunday we have a video call.
That's such a great idea. I try to call my parents once a week, but it's not always easy.
Yeah, adult life gets busy, but I think even small things like a short call or a message mean a lot.
Totally. My sister and I also make it a point to travel together once a year. It's our little tradition now.
That's wonderful. Where did you go last time?
We went to Italy, my mom's dream destination. We actually took her with us.
Oh, that must have been special.
It was. She cried when we saw the Colosseum. She said she'd always wanted to visit, but never thought she would.
That's such a beautiful family memory. So, David, what does family mean to you?
I think family means having people who love you no matter what. They see you at your worst and still stand by you.
That's so true. For me, family means support, knowing that no matter how far I go or how busy life gets, I have people who will always care for me.
Yeah. Family gives us roots, you know? Even when everything else changes, those roots stay.
Exactly.
And it doesn't always have to be blood relatives. Some friends become like family too.
Yes, chosen family. Sometimes the people who understand us best aren't related by blood.
You know, talking about family always makes me a bit emotional.
Me too. It reminds me to be more grateful for them.
Same here. I think Everyone listening should take a moment today to reach out to their family, send a message, make a call, say thank you.
Yes, even a simple I love you can mean a lot.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Thank you everyone for joining us on Dr. English Channel.
We hope you enjoyed this cozy chat about family and maybe learned a few natural expressions along the way.
Remember, family isn't perfect, but it's one of life's greatest gifts.
Beautifully said.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dr. English Channel Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Anna. Today we're taking you somewhere completely different, deep into the forest. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos about the easy ways to learn English from beginner.
That's right. Today's episode is called How to Survive in the Forest. And we're not just talking about camping for fun, we're talking about real survival skills.
Exactly. Imagine this. You're hiking with your friends, the path looks easy, but suddenly you take a wrong turn. The sun sets, your phone battery dies, and now it's just you, the trees, and the sounds of nature.
That's the moment when you realize how much you depend on simple things like maps, lights, and Wi-Fi.
Yes, and that's why today we're going to guide you through every step, from the moment you get lost to building shelter, finding food and water, and making it back home safely.
This is going to be both practical and a little philosophical because survival isn't just about skills, it's about mindset.
Let's start from the beginning. You realize you're lost. What's the first thing you do?
Most people panic. That's natural. But the number one rule in survival is don't panic.
Exactly. Take a deep breath, stop walking, and just think. Because every bad decision starts with panic.
You have to slow down, sit on a rock, take off your backpack, drink a sip of water, and ask yourself, what do I know?
That's such good advice. People forget that your mind is your biggest survival tool.
Yes, your phone might die, your GPS might fail, but your mind can stay calm and logical if you let it.
And awareness is everything. Notice the time of day, the position of the sun, the direction you came from.
Exactly. In the first few hours, your goal is not to explore, it's to stay put, think, and make a plan.
So, if someone gets lost in a forest, the first thing they should do is stop moving until they're sure what to do next.
Right, because moving without direction just makes it harder for rescuers to find you.
Okay, so you've calmed down and accepted that you might have to spend the night. What's next?
Shelter. Before food or water, your first priority is protection from the elements, cold, wind, or rain.
That makes sense. Even in mild weather, the temperature can drop fast in the forest at night.
Exactly. Hypothermia can happen even at 10 degrees Celsius if you're wet and tired. So you need to find or build something that keeps you dry and warm.
What if you don't have a tent?
No problem. You can build a simple lean-to. Find a big fallen branch or tree trunk, lean smaller branches against it, and cover them with leaves or pine needles.
Oh, like a natural roof.
Yes, the idea is to trap warm air and stay dry. Even a small space is better. Smaller shelters hold heat better than big ones.
That's a great tip. And what about the ground?
Never sleep directly on the ground. Use leaves, dry grass, or your backpack as insulation. The earth pulls heat from your body fast.
So the goal is to stay dry, warm, and protected from wind.
Exactly. Shelter gives you safety and a sense of control,
Once you have that, your stress goes down and your mind works better.
Okay, you've got shelter. Next, water. You can survive days without food, but only a couple of days without water.
That's right, but here's the tricky part. You can't just drink from any stream or pond. It might look clean, but it can contain bacteria.
So what do you do if you don't have a filter?
Boil it. If you have a way to make fire and something to heat water in, boiling for a few minutes kills most germs.
And if you can't boil?
Then you have to get creative. You can collect rainwater with a plastic sheet or make a solar still. It's a simple setup that uses sunlight to evaporate and condense clean water.
Wow, that sounds like science class.
It's simple survival science. You dig a hole, place a container in the middle, cover it with plastic, and put a small rock on top. The sun evaporates moisture from the soil, and it drips down into the container.
That's brilliant. And slow, but better than nothing.
Exactly. And remember, never drink seawater, dirty puddles, or standing swamp water. Those can make you sick fast.
Let's talk about fire, because that's what people always imagine when they think of survival.
Yes, fire means warmth, safety, and hope. It keeps animals away, dries your clothes, and boosts your morale.
How do you start one without matches?
If you have a lighter, that's ideal. If not, friction fire, but that's hard. You can also use steel and flint or even a battery and some steel wool if you have it.
That's a great trick. I once saw a video where someone used their glasses to focus sunlight and start a small flame.
Yes, that works too. The key is to start small. Dry grass, bark, or tiny twigs first. Then slowly add larger sticks.
So, preparation is everything. You can't just throw a log on a spark.
Exactly. Fire teaches patience. It's one of those things that mirrors survival itself. Slow, steady, and careful.
And beyond warmth, it gives comfort. Seeing that flame at night must feel like companionship.
It really does. It's psychological as much as practical. A fire can give you hope.
Okay, now let's say it's your second or third day. You've got shelter, water, and fire. But what about food?
Food is less urgent, but it helps keep your energy up. If you're in a real survival situation, focus on things you recognize.
So, don't just eat random berries.
Exactly. Some are poisonous. If you don't know what it is, don't eat it.
So, what's safe?
In most forests, you can look for nuts, acorns, edible roots, or insects.
I know that sounds unpleasant, but they're full of protein.
I've read that ants and crickets are actually eaten in many cultures.
Yes, and they're safe if cooked. But again, the key is to focus on staying hydrated and conserving energy.
So food is important, but not the first priority.
Right. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water or warmth.
Once you've stabilized shelter, water, fire, it's time to think about getting out.
Exactly. Navigation comes next. If you know roughly where you started, look for natural signs.
Like what? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Moss often grows on the north side of trees in the northern hemisphere. Rivers usually lead to civilization.
That's good to know. And what about leaving signs for rescuers?
Very important. Make symbols with rocks or branches, like arrows pointing your direction, or big letters like SOS.
So you should make yourself visible.
Yes, bright colors help, or smoke from your fire. Rescuers look for contrast in nature, anything that doesn't blend in.
That's interesting. It's like communication without words.
Exactly. Survival is communication with nature and people.
Let's talk about the mental side, because being alone in the forest can be terrifying.
Yes, fear, loneliness, and exhaustion can break you faster than hunger.
So, how do you stay strong?
You focus on small goals. Instead of thinking, I'm lost, you think, I'll find water today, or I'll make fire before sunset.
That's smart. It keeps your mind focused and positive.
Exactly. Survival is 80% mental. Once you lose hope, your body follows.
So, you need a reason, something to hold on to.
Yes, think about the people waiting for you, the sunrise tomorrow, or even the sound of birds. Hope is energy.
That's beautiful, David.
It's true. People who survive aren't always the strongest. They're the ones who stay calm, creative, and hopeful.
I love how survival in the forest teaches us lessons we can use in life.
Totally. It's about awareness, patience, and gratitude.
Right. You learn how little you really need to live: water, shelter, warmth, and willpower.
Yes, and you start noticing beauty again. The smell of trees, the sound of wind.
Sometimes getting lost makes you find yourself.
Exactly. The forest humbles you. It reminds you that nature doesn't care about your schedule, your phone, or your money.
And yet, it provides everything you need if you know how to look.
That's the essence of survival, learning to live with nature, not against it.
So let's recap our survival plan.
Step 1, don't panic, stay calm and think. Step 2, find or build shelter. Step 3, secure safe water. Step 4, make fire. Step 5, find food if necessary. Step 6, plan for navigation or rescue.
And through it all, stay mentally strong.
Exactly. Survival isn't just a skill, it's a mindset.
I think the forest teaches us something important. You can't control everything, but you can control how you respond.
Well said. And that's true both in the wild and in life.
So, to everyone listening, next time you go hiking, prepare well, respect nature, and remember, your greatest tool is your mind.
Perfect closing words. Thanks for joining us today.
And we'll see you next week on Dr. English Channel. Stay safe, stay calm, and keep learning.
All right, welcome back everyone to another episode of Dr. English Channel. I'm David, and sitting across from me, as always, is Anna. And today we've got a serious topic, not just motivational, but numbers, strategy, and reality. The title says it all: How to Make $1 Million in 3 Years. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos about the easy ways to learn English from beginner.
Exactly. And we're not talking about wishful thinking or manifesting it. This is going to be a breakdown of what it actually takes, what kind of income, what kind of investments, and what kind of discipline you need to reach that goal.
Right, and we're not claiming we're millionaires yet. We're walking through it as if we're planning it ourselves. So this is a real conversation: what we'd do, where we'd start, and what we'd avoid.
Exactly. Let's start by asking the obvious. Is $1 million in 3 years actually possible for an average person?
Good question. It's possible, but not easy. Let's break it down. $1 million over 3 years means about $333,000 a year, or about $27,700 per month.
That's already a big jump for most people. But the key is, it doesn't have to be all from one source. It can come from multiple streams: salary, side hustles, business, or investments that grow over time.
Exactly. You can't expect to hit that from one job.
Even if you make $100K a year, you'd still need $233K more per year from other sources. So the challenge becomes, how do you build systems that bring in money while you sleep, or at least while you're not trading all your time for it?
That's where things like scalable income come in. Businesses, digital assets, or investments that grow over time.
Right, so maybe we can organize this discussion into stages. First, defining the goal clearly. Second, building income sources. Third, investing and compounding.
Perfect. Let's start with stage 1, understanding the goal and timeline. If we have 3 years, that's 36 months. If we're aiming for $1 million total, we can track progress quarterly. So every 3 months, we'd need to be about $83,000 richer than before.
That's a good checkpoint system. It helps measure results, not just dreams. So in quarter 1, we might just be setting up, building systems, saving capital. Maybe by month 6, the income streams start kicking in.
Right. The first 6 months might not produce much. It's all set up. But then growth can compound. Let's say we start with no savings. We'd need to aggressively increase income while minimizing expenses for reinvestment.
Okay, so how many income streams do you think we'd need? At least 3 solid ones. 1 main, 1 secondary, and 1 passive or scalable. Example, a main job or business that generates consistent income, a side business or freelance work that grows, and investments like stocks, index funds, or digital products that compound.
Makes sense. Let's assign example numbers. Suppose someone earns $70,000 a year at their job. They could aim to build a side business that earns $5,000 a month after 1 year. That's $60,000 more. Then invest aggressively, say $3,000 a month into assets that yield 10 to 15% returns per year. Over 3 years, that snowballs.
Right, but the secret is leverage. Not just financial leverage, but time leverage, meaning how do you multiply your time without burning out? That's why business or automation is key.
Exactly. Let's talk about types of leverage people can use. There's money leverage, using capital to invest. There's people leverage, hiring or outsourcing. And technology leverage, using digital tools or automation.
And you can even leverage content. For example, if you create something once, like an online course, an app, or a book, it keeps selling without needing constant effort.
So, in the first year, the focus should be building a foundation, a skill-based side hustle, cutting unnecessary expenses, and saving aggressively for investment.
Yes, if you can save $20,000 in the first 6 months, you already have capital to invest. But it's not enough to save. You have to make your money work harder.
Right. Keeping money in a bank won't grow it fast enough. At 1 to 2% interest, you'll barely beat inflation. The key is finding assets with higher yields, like stocks, ETFs, or even real estate if you can manage the capital.
Let's do a small thought experiment. Suppose you can invest $2,000 a month at 12% annual average return. In 3 years, that's roughly $81,000 total value. Not huge, but it adds up. Now imagine doing that while also growing your active income.
Exactly. So it's not about one big move. It's about stacking consistent, intelligent actions that multiply over time.
That's the strategy mindset. Year 1, learn and build. Year 2, scale. Year 3, compound and maximize.
And the discipline is the hardest part. Not spending the profits too soon, reinvesting them.
Right. You have to think like an investor, not a consumer. Every dollar you spend should either make you more money or buy you time.
That's a great point. Maybe in the next part, we break down real methods like what kinds of businesses or assets could realistically generate that $1 million result within 3 years.
Perfect. Let's go into stage 2 next, identifying actual passive and active income streams that fit that 3-year goal.
Okay, so now that we've set the goal, $1 million in 3 years, let's get practical. We said earlier we'd need multiple income streams. So, what are the most realistic options for people like us? Not billionaires, just working professionals.
Good starting point. I divide income into 2 main categories, active and passive. Active income is where you trade time for money, your job, freelancing, consulting, etc. Passive is where money or systems work for you, investments, digital products, royalties, automated businesses.
Right. So, in year 1, most people will rely on active income. You need capital before you can grow passive income.
Exactly. So let's start with active sources. If you already have a job, your goal is to either increase your salary through skills or create a side business that can grow.
So, let's say someone earns $60,000 a year now. If they can increase their skills and switch jobs or roles, they could maybe earn $80,000 in the next year. That's already $20,000 more to invest.
Yes, and the other route is a side hustle. Freelancing, consulting, coaching, e-commerce, or even content creation. The key is scalability. Can it grow beyond your personal time?
For example, freelancing is great, but it's still time for money. But if you turn your freelance work into a small agency with a few helpers, it becomes scalable.
Exactly, or take e-commerce. If you build a product that sells online, like print on demand or digital templates, it can grow while you sleep.
So let's imagine this. By the end of year 1, you've got 3 income streams: your job, a small online business, and some investment returns. That combination might generate $120,000 a year total if managed properly.
Now you're talking. Then you can reinvest maybe half, $60,000, into assets that grow faster.
So, what assets would you choose?
I'd look at 3 main ones: index funds, real estate, and online assets.
Explain the online assets part. That's interesting.
Online assets are things like monetized blogs, YouTube channels, digital courses, or software tools. They're real assets because they can produce income and appreciate over time.
Right. And the entry cost is lower than real estate. But the trade-off is time and creativity.
Yes, building those takes upfront effort, but once they're running, the margins are huge. Imagine creating one digital course that earns $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year with almost no extra work.
And if you have 5 like that, you're already halfway to replacing your job income.
Exactly. That's the power of digital leverage. So, if we map out a plan for year 1, 1, stabilize job or main income. 2, build 1 or 2 scalable side hustles. 3, save at least 30 to 40% of total income. 4, start investing monthly.
Perfect. By month 12, you'll have a foundation to grow. Now, year 2 is where things get serious: scaling and reinvesting.
All right, so imagine we've made it to the end of year 1. We have some savings, some small passive income, and a clearer direction. What now?
Now comes scaling, multiplying what's working. That's where most people get stuck.
Exactly. Scaling means taking what's already bringing in income and systemizing it. For example, if your online store is selling, you might automate fulfillment or hire a virtual assistant.
If your content is performing well, you double down, post more, expand to new platforms, or repurpose old content.
And if your freelance work is full, you bring on junior freelancers and take a management cut. That's leverage again.
Let's talk about reinvestment. Say you've saved $60,000 from year 1. How do you allocate it?
Personally, I do something like
50% into index funds or ETFs for long-term growth, 25% into my own business expansion, 15% into cash reserves, 10% into higher risk, higher reward plays like startups or crypto.
That's balanced. Safe core, but still some exposure for bigger upside.
Exactly. You don't get rich by gambling, but by compounding consistently.